Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Nastya or Anastasia. I am a software developer with a major in linguistics, and on this channel I talk about books, career, life, hobbies, dance, and travel. In this video, I suggest we pour ourselves a cup of tea and get comfortable and discuss books. I just wanted to share some of the worst and best reads of this year 2025. So far, I'm recording this video in June, so half the year is already over, and I do have some things that I want to say. Some books left me frustrated, but also some books brought so much joy and entertainment in my life that I cannot just keep them to myself. Without any further ado, let's get started. I love me a little bit of drama, so let's start with the books that I hated. And the first one is gonna be Curious Tides by Pascal Lacelle. This is young adult fantasy. I'm gonna say I'm not a big fan of young adult, but the premise kind of hooked me. The story follows a lunar mage, Emery, who is trying to investigate the death of her friend. So her friend and some other people tried to perform some kind of ritual in a cave, and they drowned in the cave because of a high tide, and Emery was a survival of the same event, but she is definitely traumatized after this. And when she comes back to school, she's kind of starting to investigate the events of that night because they do not make sense to her, and she discovers some new information. For example, that her friend was involved with some secret society. It is all here in the back of the book. It's not a spoiler. Our main character Emery and her best friend's brother Baz, they are kind of like in it together, trying to learn some terrible truth behind that night. Well, I love magic school setting. That's one thing. And then the magic system here, it sounded quite interesting. So here on the side of the book, we have different lunar phases, and that kind of hints at the magic. There are different kinds of lunar mages in this book. Depending on the moon phase, the day of your birth, you get different magical abilities. So everything, all the possible powers are divided into groups by lunar phase. This sounded really quite curious to me, especially after reading a lot of popular fantasy that have very similar magical systems to me, and I was hooked. So I was very optimistic about this book. I got disappointed pretty quickly. Honestly, I found the main female character, Emery, being quite annoying. She is reckless, irresponsible, childish, and I did not find anything likable about her. And then the plot was kind of all over the place. So there is this secret society mentioned in the premise, but to me it kind of did not play that huge of a role in the ending of this book. And there were some things that I did not understand the purpose of and how it all connected, or were unnecessary. Overall, I was not excited. This is not a book for me. I already mentioned I am not a big YA reader. It's just not something I like. Nothing wrong about it in general, but this book did not do it for me. I don't even know why I picked it up, really, because probably when I see it's about a magical school, I'm just sold easily. I don't know if you've read it. Let me know what you thought. Definitely write down a comment if you liked it. Tell me why. The next one, I think people are gonna hate me for this. I'm kind of scared. Do not hate me. This is Six of Crows duology by Bardugo. Apologies for mispronouncing. This is YA fantasy that is very popular. There are so many good reviews. It's got good ratings on Goodreads, and a lot of people love it. When I was reading book one in a cafe, someone approached me saying that's their favorite book ever, and they were so excited for me to be reading it and how they wanted to reread it because they loved it so much. Unfortunately, this series did not work for me personally. I'm gonna say I think it is a good book. It is a good duology. I love the writing style, the vocabulary, is so diverse and there are so many interesting words in it. That's one of the reasons why I kept reading. I just really enjoyed Bardugo. I'm so sorry, Bardugo's style. Also, I was super curious about the world and about the magic system here. There is a country called Ravka, and it really reminds me of Russia of that historical time period. There is a mention of like Russian Tsar, like Nikolai, and that was really creative. I really liked the way that she integrated all those different pieces from reality into her imaginary world. This is YA fantasy, so not historical fiction, just to make sure I'm not confusing anyone with my rambling about the world. And the magic system is also quite interesting. Like there are different like tiers and different powers in here, and the magic, what I liked is that the magic system has its limitations. What I did not like is anything else, to be honest. The story did not do it for me. I just don't like Prison Break and like heist, right? Stories about that. I just was not thrilled. It was not entertaining at all. I also didn't really like characters. In book one, there isn't much character development, so really things don't really change much. We learn about the characters, their flaws and their good qualities, but it's not like they're learning anything throughout the whole book. We learn bits and pieces from their past. I liked those pieces because I could understand better the characters. It's always nice to have a backstory, but I just did not feel like we were moving anywhere with this. I read book one sometime last year. It kind of ended with a couple of things that happened. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there was these were things that were supposed to hook me, and but I did not want to continue reading. I only started book two in January, and to be honest, it just felt like a chore to pick up this book. I was not super excited to read it, and I was very frustrated and a little bit angry because I heard so many good things, but I found this book boring and I was frustrated because it just did not meet my expectations. And I've got one more book. I didn't even finish it. I kind of gave up maybe 80% along the way, but it's Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I'm just gonna say that I was excited about this book. I thought that I was gonna like it. I was just ready to, you know, read a fantasy that is set in a modern world, kind of. So here the story follows Bryce, our main female character, who lives in Lunathian or Crescent City. It's something like, it's giving New York, I think, like big city vibe. She's a party girl, so we go out with her, we explore the city and also explore this world, but then a tragic event happens. I'm not gonna say what it is, and she starts investigating it, or is rather forced to investigate it, with a fallen angel hunt. Yeah, to be honest, I do not understand this book at all. That's one of those cases when I just do not care about anyone. Sometimes I'm annoyed with the characters, but most of all, I don't really care. There is a lot of world building in this book that is done in a way that I personally do not like. It feels more like info dumping to me. There is a lot of information about the world and different races, because they are different races in this book. Like our main characters just have human, half fae, but there are also werewolves, vampires, angels, like so many things. Plus there's this world, different houses. This is, I don't even know what this means, but this is House of Earth and Blood. It's like all these magical creatures are divided into houses for like better government or management or something. And it just felt like a lot of the information that I learned about this world was not useful to the story so far. It is a series, so I assume it is just like some build up for book 2 or book 3, so for the remaining of this whole story. But I don't know, I kind of don't like it. I like it when a given book, even if it is a book of a series, I like it when it's kind of contained and cohesive, when everything we learned is relevant to the story. There were scenes in this book that do not feel relevant to me. Like, I could probably cut half of the book and it's just gonna like still be fine. Like, it's not gonna lose anything. So this is another 1-star read for me. I did not like the world or world building, a lot of information. I did not like the characters. Our female, I think both of them are okay. Like, our female and male characters are okay. I don't hate them, but also I don't love them. So yeah, I don't just pretty much don't care about them. We have some secondary characters. I don't remember any of these names. Like, I do not remember any of the other characters, and that's kind of concerning. I know that sometimes I like Sarah J. Maas's books later in the book. I really need to reach like 70% mark to really like get it, like understand and like get into it. I hit a moment like this in this book and it did not do it for me. I was just like, oh, okay, I still don't care. Okay, finally, let's move to the books that I did like. First one is gonna be The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is a fantasy with romance. This story focuses on a human girl who decides to take part in a competition with other vampires. Whoever wins gets the chance to meet a goddess who's gonna grant one of their wishes. There's something that this human girl desperately wants and needs, and that's why she has been training her whole life with a vampire, by the way, to be able to survive in this world, first of all, but also to participate in that particular competition. To me, that was quite entertaining to see how someone in a position like her, at a clear disadvantage, tries to survive in a world filled with vampires who are stronger, who have better senses, and who also happen to consume humans' blood. So she's kind of like a walking meal for them. It gave me Twilight, Akatar, and maybe Hunger Games vibes. So if you like those books, maybe you should give this one a try. I was just curious about the world itself. So there are different houses, like kingdoms, that are governed by different types of vampires. I enjoyed learning a little bit about vampires. I am not a Twilight fan or like Vampire Diaries fan. I have not watched that, but I did like vampires here in this book. Also, the main character was quite alright. I found her likable. I liked it that she was very practical and she always tried to emphasize and use her stronger sides. Sometimes that was just hiding. She was like realistic and very practical. She did not do stupid things, and this kind of made me like her because I'm a little bit like that. I'm a very practical person. The ending here was something I did not see coming. My jaw dropped. Overall, I really like this book. I gave it probably like 4 stars at the time, maybe in the contrast with some of the books that I mentioned earlier and I did not like. Really like Akatar vibes, very easy language. It was easy to read as a non-native speaker. The vocabulary is not that outdated, it's more like modern. So if you're looking for something to read in English as your second or third language, this is not a bad pick. The next one, it's kind of unexpected, but Thornhedge by Kingfisher. This is a very cute, charming, light, delightful read, and I think it's just perfect for summer. So if you're looking for anything small and anything light and charming, then this could be it. It's only 130 pages long, and it is a retelling of The Sleeping Beauty. We all know this story of the girl who kind of goes into sleep to preserve her life. Only in this story, we are not sure if the Sleeping Beauty is actually a princess to be saved. The story follows Toadling, who is like a fairy who came to protect the Sleeping Beauty as a child and put her into this sleep. That's all I'm willing to say about this story because it's really short. There isn't much to say without spoiling it, but I do not know what I expected from it, but it's a solid 4-star read. There is some romance in here, but no explicit scenes, and really nothing really happens. But if you're looking for something maybe nostalgic, charming, that reminds you of your childhood, this could be it. I really like, there's this quote from a review, prepare to be delighted and enchanted, and this is exactly the way that I felt about this short novel. I'm definitely curious to read more by Kingfisher. The next book is my favorite read of 2025 so far, and it's Les Bien-Aimés by Napolitano. This is the French edition of Hello Beautiful. This is literary fiction, and I gave it 4.5 stars. This story just sucked me in and did not let me go until the very last page. I actually have a separate video about this book, so if you're interested, make sure to check it out. The link will be somewhere here on the screen and in the description. I will not go into detail about this book because I have this other video, but in short, this is a book about relationships, about sisterhood, about love, about how that relationship changes with time, how important it is to really know yourself and to live authentically so you can attract the right people and not to hurt people, closest people in your life. It is a slow-paced read, I would say. There is really nothing exciting that happens. But anyway, there are still events, there are things that are changing, plot that is moving. I enjoyed observing these people and kind of being part of their life. The next one is gonna be Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is the first romance novel that I ever read, so I was not familiar with the genre, but I was looking for something, you know, light, cute, ideally with a happy ending, somewhat predictable, and I got what I wanted. I gave this book 4 stars. I actually have a separate video here on my channel. Make sure to check it out if you're interested in the story. I'm gonna leave the link here and in the description. The last one is both best and worst, and this is Zodiac Academy. This is book 1 of the series. I finished 5 or 6 books in the series, and I'm still not sure what I think about it. So this series is focused on 2 girls, twin sisters, who live in a mortal world, and they learn that they are actually not human but fae. And someone comes for them. They're supposed to move to the mirror world of their world that is specifically for fae, and they're supposed to go to Zodiac Academy, a magic school where they should kind of awaken their powers and learn how to use them. So I already mentioned, but I liked magical school settings, so that was an easy sell for me. And also the fact that they were kind of like outliers and like strangers to that fae world also made it super interesting to me. I must say, I kind of liked the world and the idea that this is like a modern world with technology, but also they have magic, and I was curious to explore it through the eyes of these twin sisters who also had no clue about the world, so it felt very natural to like learn everything with them. But also, this is a very brutal story. There's a lot of violence and bullying and just things that any normal person would condemn. The fae world described in this book is very different from ours. To them, the most powerful person wins, so power decides. There's no morals like we're used to. Whoever is the strongest wins or takes whatever they want. And from this perspective, we see that there is like a lot of dangerous interactions between, let's call them interactions between characters, and that made me feel a lot of different emotions. I was really scared for the main characters in the first 2 books, but also I will say that there were also a lot of funny moments. I really had a good time. It really hurt to read the series, to be honest. There is a lot of emotional damage in it, but ultimately I was really rooting for these twin sisters, and I was just waiting for them to finally like, gain more knowledge and control over their own power, so they can finally stand up to themselves. I will say some of the bullying was really disturbing and made me feel very uncomfortable, but I was like still hoping that we would come eventually to a point when the girls can actually stand up, so I was looking forward to this. It got a little bit boring, or I would say too much for me in book 4. I could barely finish book 5, and then it got even worse. I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue the series. It gets even more sadistic and I'm just not feeling like it's really for me, but I want to know how it ends, so we'll see. And just like that, we are done. Here are all the books that I loved and disliked so far. I also finished a couple of other books that were kind of in the middle. I did not mention them, but I encourage you to go to the comments section and let me know what is your worst and best read of 2025. Like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I'm trying different formats and I'm kind of curious to know what you think about bookish content like this. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts or your feedback. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!